Good afternoon. Today is Monday, December the 21st. We're at the Human Resources Committee meeting, and it's now 5:31. So here today we have Ms. Odoms. Is Dottie on? I thought I saw her.
I was muted. I'm sorry. Here.
Okay. Ms. Gilio?
Here.
Okay. And also we have Ms. Zine
Hi.
and Ms. O'Gara.
Hi.
Okay, and we have a guest today, and this is Miss Gatney.
How are you?
Did I pronounce your name right?
Yep, Miss Gagney. Yep.
Okay. All right. We had a revised personnel recommendation dated today, December 21st. I hope you guys got it. So we're going to do our personnel recommendation first, and then we're going to invite Ms. Gagney and to tell us all about herself. Okay. So did you get a chance to look over the personnel recommendation? Yes?
Yes.
No? Sandra?
Yes.
No. Okay. So I'm going to make a motion to approve the revised copy of the personnel recommendation dated December 21st, 2020.
Second.
Okay. So we have a second by Ms. Gilio. So Ms. O'Gara, not Ms. O'Gara, I'm sorry. Ms. Odom, is that, can I have your vote, please?
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Gilio?
Yes.
And Ms. Timmons, I vote yes for the revised personnel recommendation. Now we have a guest, and this is Mrs. Gatney, who I don't see.
Hi, guys.
Okay. Ms. Gatney came to us in interviews, and I'd like her to speak a little bit about herself and welcome her to Nashua District. Before I say something about Ms. Gatney, before she speaks for herself, I was very impressed with your cover letter. It was really dynamic. And if it's okay with you, I would like to send that copy of that cover letter to our committee members, because I think they really should see that. But you probably tell them all about it anyway when you speak about your quest to join our district. So why don't we do that instead?
So yeah, you can definitely send that out. No worries. I thought, so the reason behind that too is I definitely just wanted to make sure that there is a clear connection that I have with especially some of our students over at Lead Street too. I know that some of the challenges that their families experience, as somebody who's a first generation American myself, I can definitely empathize, and I have certainly gone through a lot of the similar struggles that they have. But just to introduce myself, my name is Rosie O'Gagney. I am coming from Hudson. I was the at-risk teacher there for about 7 years. Before I was a teacher, I worked over at the Boys and Girls Club of Greater Nashua, and I loved the Boys Club. It was so much fun. It was a great environment. I was a Boys Club kid myself, so I certainly needed a place like that. And, I worked through college, and one of the I'm always appreciative of the Boys and Girls Club, but not only did I obtain my scholarship program through there, but I had some great mentors there as well. And I became an educator, and my work, I am as an at-risk teacher, I was able to develop the strategies for success curriculum with in collaboration with some of the special educators there. And it's been a great success over in Hudson. So I'm really excited to take a leap into administration, and I'm really looking forward to working at Lead Street.
Okay, do we have any questions for her? Anyone?
I do.
Okay, Miss.
Okay. Thank you. And thank you, Ms. Gagney. It's nice to meet you. Nice to have you here. You have a great interview sheet here that we have. I don't know. I don't think it's the cover sheet that Ms. Timmons is speaking about. but I couldn't help but notice you participated in after-school remediation to support failing students and also developed after-school literacy program to support at-risk students. Can you tell me how similar those programs were and how they were different? And also how you evaluated the success of students in those programs?
So our remediation program at Alvern is it's typically geared for students who have failed competencies within the class. So they could have potentially obtained like a 60 average and above, but let's say in an English class, it's broken, their competencies are reading, writing, speaking, listening, and viewing. So let's say that they failed the reading competency. So as part of their remediation, they would have to essentially make up that competency through different areas. That could entail something like reading a different novel and then, completing a summative assessment based off of that. Okay. The reading program that I did with my students was that I noticed that a lot of my students were not reading the books assigned to them in their English classes. So what I did was I almost like gently nudge them to come after school with me, and I'd provide snacks for them and we'd have a little time to talk, but then we would break down each of the chapters of the reading. So we'd use different reading modalities. We'd do audio if necessary. We would do things like read in small groups if we found that that was more successful for those students, and then we would go through comprehension questions together. It allowed students to have support while they were reading, and it was to measure the success of those programs. For the remediation program, it was either students completed it or they didn't, and then with my the literacy program that I did with my students, it was like I specifically saw students increase, like their grades would significantly improve because not only were they completing the homework, but they're now practicing reading skills. So it was measured differently, but still there were definitely both different opportunities for students to be successful.
Oh, thank you so much for your clarification and going into that. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Any other questions, Ms.
Well,
Zing?
can I just follow up on that? Were most of those children poverty children, or did they come from across the socioeconomic lines?
So those are all different.
It was.
Yes, all these students they all range in different class, like socioeconomic classes for sure.
Thank you.
Yes, Magilio?
I don't have a question, but I just really wanted to welcome her because over 3 years ago, I was a substitute librarian for half a year at Ledge Street. And it was while I was there doing that I decided to run for the Board of Education. And for the few years after that, I volunteered in the library. So Ledge Street is a school that's very near to my heart. And it sounds like you're very excited about joining them. So congratulations.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. And I think it's going to be a good fit for Mr. Miller. Though on our agenda, we have you as principal, but you're going to be the assistant principal.
Not taking
No.
Promotion.
Okay. Any other questions for Ms. Gatney? So I'd like to move to nominate Ms. Gatney for the assistant principal at Ledge Street Elementary School for the 2021 school year at an annual salary of $73,500.
Second.
I was second by Ms. Gilio. Okay, we're going to vote on this. Ms. Odom,
Yes.
Ms. Gilio,
Yes.
and I also vote yes. So congratulations. We'll go in front of the full board this afternoon and this evening, and then you will be officially part of the district. Congratulations.
you.
Yay!
Congratulations and welcome aboard.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And I just want to make something clear, not from you, Ms. Gatney, but from our board members, that we did approve the personnel revised copy of December 21st, and that was 3-0. Okay, thank you. Any other questions? Any other HR problems that you want to discuss?
I have an issue.
Mhm.
We got copies of the iNews the other day, and I found one of the paragraphs troubling, and I just like to get a little bit more information. The paragraph reads, if you were considering resignation, there are some important things you should consider in making the choice, as it is a break in service that affects your benefits, accrued time, longevity, and seniority. If you have questions, please contact, and it says, put a contact in
Okay.
Human Resources.
Dana, can you speak on that?
Well,
So I wanted
did you
to,
approve that?
we all worked on it together, right? So the principals are trying to make their schedules for next semester. And we are hearing, and the union is hearing, that some people, I guess it's been a tough year for a lot of people. If you notice on the personnel recommendation, it's December, and already we have 2 teachers giving their notice to retire at the end of the year. So we're hearing that people it's just really hard, and they're fearful of going back. And we know we have some people who want to resign. And that's, if you, in the paragraph before, maybe, it says, if you know that you are going to resign, please give us those 2 weeks notice. And that paragraph that you read, Dottie, that was my attempt at trying to talk them out of it, if you really must know, because it is a break in service when you resign. And I feel that a lot of people are just trying to escape the pandemic, and then they're going to want to come back in September. But they're going to lose all those things if that happens. If they leave now, they're going to lose their whatever longevity and seniority, and what are they going to do about health insurance and all of that? Sometimes when we make decisions because, we're at our wits' end, sometimes we don't talk to somebody about what it involves. So I want to make sure that if they're leaving, that they know what the ramifications are.
Well, can I ask you, from what I understand from reading on the website, that the survey for those that want to remain remote will not finish until Wednesday of this week, the 23rd.
That's for parents.
Yes, about their students, right?
Right.
Okay. Are we not going to attempt to pair teachers up with classes who want to teach remotely? Because there are going to be students who want to stay remote. Are we going to try to pair them up so that if they fear coming in because they have health issues, and we've heard from teachers that they do not have health issues, but their spouse does, or elderly parent is living with them, are we going to try to alleviate the fact that they have to come in if there are openings for remote teachers in that area? I believe that's what the elementary school has done.
So Dottie, the first thing that we're going to do is and there's a chart that we're going to show later at the board meeting. We have teachers who already have accommodations to work remotely. So they'll go through a process of meeting some criteria that people will be able to be remote.
Mr. McKinney, you have something to say? I see your hand. Mr. McKinney.
Thank you, Ms. Simmons. The crux of the note on the iNews was that we have several teachers that are out on the EMFLEA that expires the end of December. We have long-term subs there. So we
Okay.
need to know if they're returning to work. That's one big issue, because if they're not, we have to continue to employ the long-term subs. As you know, personnel matters can be discussed at this board, but we're working diligently to make assignments that work for teachers, for parents, and for kids. And right now, the principals are just trying to be ready for that mid-December return to hybrid and having staffing that matches the parent responses and the needs of kids.
Thank you
So I
for
hope-
explaining that, Dr. McKinney. I appreciate that.
Oh, thank you. And just one other thing, we did spend a number of days, phone calls and emails, because we can't really contact people who are on leave, but we're trying to get the word out. You know, we just need everybody, all hands on deck. I hope you can appreciate where it's coming from. It was in no intention to scare people away. I'd encourage everybody to bring your friend or two, because we're going to need some help.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other comments or concerns? Ms. Gilio? No. Ms. Odom? Ms. Zine? No. Ms. Bishop? Acknowledge that you are here with us. Hi, Mr. Parker. So if we don't have any other concerns or comments, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Okay, moved by Ms. Odom, second by Ms. Gilio. Ms. Odom,
Yes.
Ms. Gilio,
Yes.
and I also say yes. We are now adjourned at 5:48.